So, hi everyone. How is everyone doing? It's kind of wet over here on my side. What's happening on your side? Well, on the last video that I did, I decided to do a follow-up because I realized there are some areas that I wanted to expound on, right? So this is a thing. So by the way, I'm Loadaspice, okay, and I'm a international nurse, a registered nurse who migrated to the US. And from time to time, I'm gonna share my experience, right? And I just want to take the time out to meet some of you and to familiarize myself with you all. But in the meantime, I'm just here to add a few little specs on the video that I presented on Sunday. So what I'm gonna just add to that video is that first, before I get into the matter, to all my subscribers, thank you for the views. Thanks for always stopping by. Thanks for visiting. And thanks for your feedback. Now, this lab that I'm doing, like I say, is just to sharpen some of the points that I made. And one of the things is NCLEX. So the NCLEX exam, right? When you're an international nurse and you're in your home country, you don't necessarily have to depend on a recruiter to do your exam. Okay, so two things you must know. One, you can do your NCLEX exam on your own. And what I mean by this, because for example, what I did was that I applied, I was going to go to Canada. If you go back in, I think not the last video, but the video before, you hear me speak about applying to Canada, the Canadian boards, right? And sending my information all on my own. I did this all on my own, right? No, all on my own. So you can do it too. Because what happened is that when you do your exam on your own, you tend to have more option and a little bit more choices. So I sent to the Canadian board because initially I was going to go to Canada, but in 2013, these Canadians started to use the NCLEX. And once they started to use the NCLEX as well, they were saying that if you do the NCLEX, the same US NCLEX, you can go to America. Even Canadians, they can go to America too. So what happened is that I applied to the boards and I sent the documents in, my resume, all of those things back to my college to send my information, my documents. And once I did all of that, what happened is that I was approved to sit the NCLEX. First, it was a Canadian exam, but like I said, they switched. So I was approved. Hi, I was approved to sit the NCLEX. And once I got this approval to sit the NCLEX, like I said, on my own without the recruiters, what I did was I did everything because I think they're going to send you, after they approve you, you have to apply to the NCLEX board because this is when I switched. So you have to apply to the NCLEX. I don't remember the name. I think it's NCSB, something of that nature. You can drop your comment below or Google. But that board that's responsible for NCLEX, they also approved me and have me applying to sit the exam in the US. And like I said, you do this all on your own, right? I'm talking about the NCLEX. How once you're an international nurse, you can do this NCLEX on your own. You don't have to wait on a recruiter. You can apply to whichever board. In my case, I started out with Canada, but I was speaking to a friend and she let me know that she did the US. She wanted to come to Florida, so she applied to the Florida board, right? And like I said, you're free to do this. You apply to the Florida board, and once you apply to the Florida board, they will direct you, given the necessities, to sit this exam, right? And once they approve you, you're gonna book your ticket, study for your exam on your own again, like shop for the best question banks, the best set of question banks, everything, and study, give yourself time off from work, take the time off from work, whatever, ongoing stuff. And before you take the time off from work, you can do some little practice exam, practice test rather, practice exam, practice test, and you keep repeating these tests because you want to be familiarized with the material, right? Because what happened is that although we're all nurses and nursing is universal, there's some little things that's unique to the US, right? And you want to make sure that you're not going to take your ways and your practice from your own country to infringe or say, okay, this is the way US gonna do it. No, US has their own way of also doing things, and to be successful in the NCLEX exam, you have to think and behave like what is expected in the US as a nurse, not necessarily what you know from your home country, right? So like I said, once the board approves you, and like I said, you can do this without a recruiter. You pay your money. All of this come with a fine. You just do all of this without a recruiter, because once you sit your exam on your own and apply for your NCLEX exam on your own without a recruiter, what happens is that you tend to have more choice at the end. Because what happened is that I have had a couple friends who reach out to me and say, Norda, I get my NCLEX, but I did my NCLEX through a recruiter. For example, there are quite a number of recruiter for nurses, international nurses, and they may say, oh, I sit my exam, but these recruiter paid for my paperwork. They paid for my exam. They did everything for me. They helped me. Can I use the recruiter that you use that you paid up front and you got them the benefits from the benefits that the American nurses get and obtain, and basically you were successful in choosing the hospital and getting more options of state that you can choose from? Can I use them? And when I gave them the contact of this recruiter, that I paid my money upfront and I got my green card right away, I got basically more benefits and more offer. These recruiters let the individual know that no, they can't touch them because they're already signed up with this other recruiter that pays for them to do their exam, pays for them to have question banks and information to study material basically. So if you want to sponsor yourself, you can do so. And when you sponsor yourself, like I said, I have one recruiter that I know for sure will take you on the spot. Like, I can give you their email. Just want to say, link me at Loadaspice. It's Loadaspice. And that's on Instagram. And you can link me on Facebook also. If you don't want to drop the comment below so everybody's in your business, you can link me at Loadaspice on Instagram in my DM. And you can link me at Nords, NORDSHEMM on Facebook. Okay? So like I said, these are the individuals that you can use. You pay your money through. Like I said, I took a small loan, I paid it, and when I come, I got the same rate. There was no recruiter dipping in my money, basically. You understand? So I was offered a good package, right? And all I had to do was stay 3 months with the hospital. I was successful when I did the interview, because like I said, I got more than one option. And this occurred highly because I sponsored myself to do the exam. So you can sponsor yourself. So once you finish nursing school, you finish whatever and you're a nurse in your home country, feel free to sponsor yourself. Because if you sponsor yourself, sometimes you find out that you go quicker in the long run. Because I think also a lot of these recruiters who take you on and they pay your exam for you and they give you paperwork and they give you study material, sometimes there's a backlog. Because when I use mine that I pay my way through, there was no backlog. In 6 to 9 months, I was successful. From when I started application, I was boarding the plane with my green card, even before I leave my home country. So like I say, guys, feel free to sponsor yourself. Do your NCLEX on your own. You don't necessarily have to use these recruiters that pay for your exam and pay for your study material, because you tend to be bonded. They bond you and you have to wait on them. And what I notice a lot of time, they're saying there's a backlog at the embassy, right? I guess they get a certain amount of quota. And once they reach a quota for that time frame, it's only a certain amount of nurses they can help to migrate or move. And as they move one set, then another set moves up on the list before you get through. And I get to understand a lot of individuals are waiting. So like I said, take your little small loan, take your little loan. You take your little loan, There are other recruiters out there that will take you once you get your exam on your own. I did it, and I must say it was a great experience. I have no regrets, literally no regrets. And that's a fact. So it's okay to do your exam on your own. Do your exam on your own without those recruiters. That's another option. That's another choice. You don't have to wait on the recruiters to pay for your exam or pay for your study material, okay? And that's all I'm going to say for today. I think I cover enough. If you have any question, you can drop it below, drop the comment below. But like I said, I'm speaking on nurses, the different ways you can do your NCLEX in becoming an international nurse to the US. You can do your exam on your own, sponsor yourself without any recruiter, because oftentimes when you do, there are other different types of recruiter which you can just pay your money, get a loan, whatever, and they help you to migrate quickly. 6 to 9 months, you're getting through. While the ones that pay for your exam, your study material and everything, there's a backlog with them and they may take longer. So pay up front, take your loan, do what you have to do, and get going. You don't have to use these recruiters that experience in backlog, all because you're bonded to them. And like I said, if you use them to do your exam, the ones that don't pay or do anything, they're just waiting for you to come on your own. They're not going to touch you because I think they share data or data. And once they realize that you were signed on or you're bonded with a recruiter that actually paid for you and do everything, they're going to say it's a conflict of interest to do business with you. So they're not going to take you. Right? So do your exam on your own. You can. And that's all I'm going to say today. So thank you all for stopping by. Those of you who stopped by, thank you so much. And I still have more to come, right? On this experience here as an international nurse in the US. All right. So see you soon. Okay. Peace. All right, so how do I end this? I can never end this now.